Montana is not ticklish. Never mind, we just found that out. Thank you very much. And we've got 2 sets tonight. Some paper. They're the backup because this wasn't charged, right, Travis? And although we have fired the person who didn't charge it. And I can't read that anyway. Manny's in his seat.
Hi.
Hello, Manny. He runs tourism in WA. First letter tonight. You've seen the letters?
Well, I've seen the letters, be it in the last minute.
No surprises here. We are lucky enough to live in a free society, do we?
Sort of.
Yeah. He'll tell you what he thinks when we get to the letters. Second letter tonight. My ex-husband and I have never seen eye to eye about the way we bring up kids. How do you go?
Struggle.
You're no orphan. And the third letter tonight. University students pay $100,000 upwards for degrees. How much do you pay when you were at uni?
My degree was free.
Me too. Was I there at the same time as you? Roughly. All the other guests as well, as Manny. And what else have we got tonight? No, that's it. Some coffee, hopefully, by then. We'll see you soon. Don't go away.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour. It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Gary Mitchell with you for the next half hour. A terrific lineup on Sweet and Sour. My mate Darren Mello's here. Hello, Daz.
Hey, Gaz, how are you?
What a fantastic voice. I bet you you've been told that 1,000,000 times.
Not enough.
How many years on
Not
radio
enough.
have you been?
So, 20-ish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you still enjoying it?
Yeah. Well, also not qualified to do anything else.
But hey, listen, the story is you only need to be good at one thing to succeed in life.
That's true. I'm still looking forward. And if I find it, you're all in trouble.
Good on you, Daz. Great to have you here. Hello, Rebecca,
Thanks,
for the very first time.
Hello.
Lovely to have you here. What do you do, Rebecca? As if we don't know?
Well,
as if we haven't seen your face before?
I don't do anything with my voice, so as you can tell.
You don't need to.
I work in fashion and delving a little bit into interior design and all other bits and pieces.
Fantastic.
So, yes.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
My mate Lucy is here too. Hello.
Hi.
What happened with comedy the other night? At least you're trying there.
It's tough, isn't it?
Where
I
did you
got
do
a
it?
yeast infection and thought I'd start talking about buttermilk. You're regretting asking that question, right?
Really? Wow. That's
yeah,
really
and it
good.
made me feel sick all week. It's like catching the flu, but you don't have any nasal congestion, so you can still go on radio, but you're just like,
I
ow.
got sent a care package of stuff from Chemmart that talks about have the awkward conversation about, you know, all sorts of things that would have been useful by the sound of things. I should have brought it in.
I'm really glad I asked that question. Welcome to the show, Lucy. My mate, another mate is here tonight. Manny, how are you?
I'm well, Gary. How are you?
I'm all right. How's the tourism industry?
Tourism industry is going very well, yes.
Really?
You're loving
WA
it.
going pumping?
WA is beginning to pump. Yep.
What's happening to hotels here?
Hotels are struggling.
But we're building more, aren't we?
We're building a lot more
So they can all
hotels.
struggle.
I shouldn't
does
have
that
said
work?
that. No, hotels are doing okay. The corporate's gone off the boil. Now leisure's coming back into WA. And with the quay opening up, there's going to be some good times in
When
the future.
does the quay open up?
In about 12 months' time.
That's Elizabeth Quay we're talking about on the Perth. It's not the foreshore? Yeah, it is the
Yes, on
foreshore. isn't
the
it?
river.
Yeah.
Is it really going to be ready for a month?
It was river.
That's what
Is there
they're
much
telling
left? They have to fill it up again. Here we go. First letter tonight. Dear Sweet and Sour guests, we are lucky enough to live in a free society and have the benefit to enjoy Western world values. One of those freedoms that we enjoy is freedom of speech. I was troubled to hear one of you guests on a previous show say that she was a teacher and she was unable to say what she really thought of Tony Abbott because she could lose her job. Where is the freedom to express in this very real example? Why have we become a land that has its people looking over their shoulder in fear? This is not the Australian way. We're happy to speak up and out. The federal government recently tried to ensure freedom of speech with the repealing of Section 18C of the Racial Discrimination Act, which would have given us all the right to speak our minds and not have to kowtow to the do-gooder minority groups who have been responsible for trampling on our freedoms. This person's a crusader. It failed, and we still have to watch our P's and Q's. It's abysmal that we are all so compliant to give away this fundamental right. What can we do to bring back freedom of speech and give back to every citizen in this land the right to his or her opinion? Andrew of Lakemba in New South Wales. Oh, Daz.
Andrew, everybody has the right to be an arsehole. That is fundamentally still true here in Australia. It's as true now as it always has been. You know what? I'm not disappointed that the Racial Discrimination Act wasn't repealed. Like, I think that's probably a good... Like, every now and then, it's probably worthwhile that we have some reminders that we live in a society with other people in it.
With other people?
Yeah, like, we generally get away with a lot of actions that, some would necessarily consider to be less than socially acceptable. So every now and then, just a little nudge in the right direction is probably a good thing. And I don't know, maybe the teacher that said she couldn't say what she thought was really the case about Tony Abbott because she'd lose her job was probably being polite. I think she could have. On this panel, you have freedom of speech.
Absolutely.
And I think she was being polite.
That's all. And, where is the rule that says you can't say things? She was being polite.
Tony Abbott couldn't find her. I'm sure that...
He wouldn't be interested.
No.
Does he watch the show?
And let's face the National Broadband
There
Network...
are some issues that have made their way to Canberra that started on this show.
Really?
Yeah.
But they haven't rolled the Broadband Network out every no chance of finding her.
Yeah, they monitor everything. So he'll hear it if you say something about it. But he won't give a damn too much.
No, I think he's got some better things to do.
He does.
In terms of this teacher in particular, I think, if she went on and spoke her mind, which may have ruffled a few feathers, I think we're the first to jump on the back and complain and say, how dare this teacher say this, how dare this person say that. It's kind of just, I think she was being polite.
She was being polite. She's got the right to say that. I think the rule is, and what 18C is about, is that you have the right to say anything at all that you want, as long as you don't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Which is what the rest of freedom is about too. This extension of freedom of speech is bizarre, where you can say anything, hurt people, and then be free from prosecution. I don't know. That's my reading as well. That's why I understand that 18C didn't get through. You can do anything you like. Freedom of speech, have we got it or not?
Well, speaking of 18C, I actually looked up the legislation, and this apparently only applies to public spaces.
That's
it's
right.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't want an a-hole walking up, abusing me, because you're allowed to. I can call you whatever I want, as long as I don't put a time and date on a place that I'm going to kill you. I can basically call you whatever I want under freedom of speech. And so we still
He has
have
the right
that.
to sue you for assault if you threaten him, though.
Yes, if I put
That's
a
not under
time and
18C.
a date on it,
It's actionable.
and there's proof of it.
That's under 18C.
So it's like, I'm going to kill you.
If you
but
threaten
that's
him-
not. I'm going to kill you.
If
That's okay, they can't charge me.
No, they can. Not under 18C. You are not allowed to threaten him in any way.
That's just...
In a public place with witnesses,
Public
maybe.
place is 18C.
Okay.
You are not allowed to threaten him. If you do that in front of a witness, that's assault. It's verbal assault. Absolutely it is.
Well,
That's a
what
different-
happens if
different thing
someone
altogether.
Different thing altogether.
What happens if someone Facebook messages you the same sort of thing? Like, I saw you in a public place.
Yes, you can...
And
You can actually report people. You can report people face.
If you threaten, you're not allowed to threaten anybody. Okay? You have the right to do anything that you want to do on this planet and in this nation, as long as you don't hurt anybody. And if you prove that you are threatening someone, and that person can
which you
show.
need a time and a date for. Try calling your
Well,
local police
Facebook is
station.
time and date. At this particular time, you posted this on
Yeah, no, but they want to know when they're going to kill you.
for 18C.
Yeah. Not necessarily for 18C, but just public place
I'd want to
threatening.
know when you want to do.
I think it's okay because I don't
You
want
think it's
people
okay?
coming up
I'm a
and
bit concerned
judging.
now when
Like, I
police
want it
You
to
think it's
stay.
okay?
I want it to stay because it's a public place. You can say whatever you want in your private home. You can invite
want
whatever
18C to
guests you
stay.
want.
Come on,
in
Manny.
there.
Come in, Manny.
There's two issues here, Andrew. The first issue is about the teacher, and about the teacher, there are public servants. When you become a public servant, as she is a teacher, there's certain things you've got to toe the party line. So as a public servant, you can't get up and criticise the Premier because that's the job that you're doing. And sometimes you'll be working for a company and you have to sign a thing to say you're not thinking. So there's that thing. Outside of that, that same public servant can be very critical behind closed doors of Tony Abbott, etc. So I agree, and I also believe 18C should be there for that protection.
There you go. Considered discussion on this panel. When we come back, we're going to talk about whether parents should be seeing eye to eye over everything, and what are the repercussions if they don't? Don't go away. More of Sweet and Sour when we come back. See you soon. That was really good. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. If you'd like to send us a letter, send it to the address that's appearing on your screen right now, which is letters@sweetandsour.net.au. And there you go. We've got a whole lot of other things as well. There's
Keep
our
Australia
website.
Post in business, please. Send letters.
$1 a letter coming up. Sweetandsour.net.au, and you can Facebook us and send us a tweet as well. And for everyone that does send us a letter that we read out and discuss, we're going to send you to the movies. And this week we're sending you to the Book of Life. Terrific. It does look like a cartoon, doesn't it?
I think it is.
Here we go. Hi, Sweet and Sour. My ex-husband and I have never seen eye to eye about the way we bring up children, hence their ex. One of the major factors in the failure of our marriage... Oh, no, that's one of the major factors in the failure of our marriage. Last Easter, I let him have the kids on the Sunday on the proviso that he took them to church. Well, when they got home that Sunday night, they were hyper and uncontrollable. Not only had he let them eat the entire stash of chocolates that he'd bought them, but the kids let slip that they'd spent the whole morning watching TV and didn't get to church at all. I was livid and we had a row. He said that I'm a killjoy and the children should be allowed to have fun, but I believe that rituals and traditions are important, especially at Easter. Otherwise, these occasions aren't special. Which of us is right? Why can't people see that Easter is more than filling your children with chocolate? Do you think I can ever get through to my husband? Why are men so irresponsible?
So many
Thank
things
you
in this
very
letter.
much. Thank you so much, Livia of Ivanhoe of Victoria. I bet you've got a fun household. All right, Manny.
Livia, there's so many things to this letter. First and foremost, kids are allowed to have chocolate at Easter. I mean, they're going to be hyped up. That's the one day of the year that they will be hyped up. I agree with you, though, as coming from a good Greek background, Easter is important, going to church is important. Working it out with your husband, maybe he's a non-believer, maybe this is why you weren't able to have your successful marriage the first time. So possibly having solutions like saying, I'll take the kids to church and then I'll drop them off for the rest of the day for Easter might have been a easier
better
thing.
one.
You can't expect, if you're asking your husband to do something, don't expect him to do it.
Lucy.
Particularly if you're divorced.
Lucy, this lady's imposing her values on her husband and he didn't want them, which is why he disappeared. And now she's saying men are so irresponsible.
Nice,
She got a leg to stand on?
nice point of view, Mitch.
Absolutely.
Just saying, she should have educated her children better. If they're old enough to talk, they're old enough to ask their dad for chocolate. They're old enough to not eat that chocolate and hoard it and take it back
They're
to their
kids,
mother.
you're hard. They're kids.
Yeah, no.
Throw
I'm
me a
just
chocolate
saying,
and
she
I'll
doesn't
be
train them.
yours.
She needs to beat them more. If they don't bring Easter eggs home, they're like, what do you mean you didn't find all the Easter eggs?
Is it
And
his
if they-
fault?
No, I just want to say too, if the kids and the family fell for the fact that I did on Facebook that Easter falls on April Fools and shared the post,
Oh, you
they
got
don't
done.
deserve any
You got done. When's
chocolate.
Easter this year? April 6th.
Hey, ours is April 12th.
April 12th. Ours.
How many are there?
Well, there's a
Well,
lot.
there is. It's the Greek.
The Greek, the Orthodox is a week later this year.
And the Kinder Surprises here when
have
they're
their own.
When do
like...
they have their Easter?
Well, no, the Kinder Surprise eggs, like when they're on sale in the supermarkets here after Easter, they just quickly ship them back to Greek if the Easter's later and charge full price.
Stale chockies coming to a supermarket in Greece near you. All right,
With
Rebecca.
toys.
Oh, Olivia, I think you are a little bit irresponsible, my love. If
She expects too much.
Yeah, if you want your children to go to church, then maybe open a line of communication and take them to church in the morning and, like Manny said, get Dad to pick them up in the afternoon. It's all about balance when you're in a split relationship. The kids come first. If they want to have a bit of fun with Dad, then you're just going to have to learn to back off.
Rebecca, has he done anything wrong?
No.
He's not done anything wrong, Dad.
No.
Which of us is right?
There is no
There
right
doesn't
or wrong.
always have to be
No.
one or the other being right. Sometimes both can be right and both can be
Yes.
very,
Yes.
very wrong at the same time too.
Yes.
Believe me, as a married man, I've been right and very, very wrong at the same time.
The kids had a great day.
Everyone everyone should be happy.
Exactly
The
right.
When
kids
you're
had a great
divorced, though,
day.
you're moron.
Not the
That is true. That is true.
She needs to relax.
Why are men so irresponsible? That's how we're built.
Oh, I don't think we are. How
We're no
mean.
more irresponsible
Hey, listen,
than anyone else
those
is.
kids came
with your
home
brawn.
to her and they were happy and they were fine. They didn't have legs broken. They weren't in the emergency room. I think you did a good job.
They came home happy. They were just
That's it.
hyperactive.
They're just pulling out Easter eggs.
That's fine.
No problem.
Well, that's what the bunny does, the Easter bunny. It's all he does all day. Poos out Easter eggs. How did we get back round to poo again?
That wasn't the version of the story I grew up with,
I
Des.
did have a twisted education. Save us, please, Gary.
I'm so glad we're moving on to something. When we come back, we're talking about the cost of education in Australia. Don't go away. See you soon.
I was thrilled yesterday. I met the man who invented crosswords. I can't remember his name. I think it was P something, T something, R.
Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. Straight into the letter. Dear Sweet and Sour, my daughter recently finished her final year of high school and has always said she'd love to travel to visit our family in Europe for 6 months after school. However, now that university students may end up with $100,000 degrees that they have to pay off, this isn't looking like an option. She's quite the sensible little soul and has asked if instead of giving her some money for a holiday, could we please place it on her student debt and she'll go straight to uni before the fee hike. She's young. She should be travelling with her friends and have fun for a while before going back into difficult study. One of the best things about Australia is our education system. Well, apparently not. I was brought up to believe that everyone had the right to higher education, yet now our government is trying to take that away from us. I really want to tell my daughter to stuff it and go travel and be young before she has to worry about these responsibilities. But what if she can't even afford to go to university in a year? Mark of Bedford, WA. Manny, first up.
Mark, you're right. It's a bit of a dilemma, and if the fees do go up to $100,000, not yet there, but if they do, then you have an issue on your hands. And what I suggest is that maybe, yes, go to university, and then at the end of the degree, take the 1 year travel off then at the end of the degree. My understanding is they won't have to start paying it back until they're earning $50,000. So,
Yeah.
So do the degree.
Why
and
is
then-
it an obstacle? I don't understand why it's an
do the
obstacle.
degree.
Doesn't
And-
matter. You go travelling first, you know, and then go to university. Doesn't matter. You've still got the same bill.
Well, I think what she's saying is she travels now, she's going to get a bigger bill for the same degree. If she starts straight away next year, it's going to be a lesser bill.
She's worried about that.
Probably.
Unis are very good at making sure they keep you for long enough that they run up a pretty big bill nowadays anyway, aren't they?
But the last thing I want to say is it's critically important that she does do that travel.
I mean, one of my biggest regrets is she didn't. 3 things I'm telling my daughters is they study a degree, any sort of degree, do a sales job for 12 months, and then travel for 12 months, particularly in Europe.
Sales job for
Well
12
done.
months? What do you want to do?
Absolutely.
Kill their soul?
No,
Because everyone has to learn. Everyone has to
Sales.
learn how to sell.
You learn so much.
Everyone has to learn how to sell.
Sales.
Anyway, I just
Most
like
important skill
Everyone
in
does
our
it,
economy.
whether you like to admit it or not.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone does. Sorry, go loose. Your turn.
I wish I knew how much my HECS debt was because I haven't paid it off. But every time I fill out a tax form when I have to have a new job, I have to tick accumulated HECS debt.
Has it stopped you doing anything?
Nah.
And
No
it
way.
doesn't.
But that's because I've never really worked. I tried to be a stand-up comedian and failed. What am I going to do?
Try,
And I
keep
just
trying,
like
love.
to say as well.
The lesson of life, keep
I
trying.
would say keep trying.
Keep trying.
Because if you do that, you'll never have to pay off your debt.
Or comparatively, I'll be like, mine's only 20 grand. What's yours, 100?
Obama's about
Oh,
to
I've
dissolve
done
all
so
the
well.
debts. He's about to wipe off this big student
It's
debt.
like $1 million. To be a doctor in the States is $1 million+ by the time you've studied.
And $1 million goes a lot further in the States
You
than
could
it does
buy a
here.
house in Perth. Just.
Yeah, you could
Just.
buy 1 million
Or
houses in the
Australia.
States.
All right.
Maybe a couple.
Rip.
I wanted to say one more thing.
One more thing,
Go on.
quickly.
I would just like to say that I think Kerry Packer gave his son some very good advice when he said to James Packer, why would you go to university? To learn how to smoke marijuana, and send him off to a cattle farm to become a jackaroo.
Rebecca, aren't we glad we
me.
hung around for that one? Rebecca.
That may be an option. I tend to kind of agree with Manny on this one. I think go to university, do the few years that you're going to do with your degree there, and then assess where you're at and then go travelling. I think you're putting too much stress and pressure on this. If she's just finished school, she'd be 17.
She's worried about the money now.
Don't let her worry about that kind of stuff. I mean, she's obviously at home with you, so she's saving a bit of cash. And she's going to be there until she's 30.
Keep her at home a bit.
30? Are you kidding?
40.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new 20.
That's it.
Welcome
So
to Greece.
Don't let her stress right now. Let her enjoy it, and then
And just, buck up, dude, because
Yeah.
you're going to be paying for it. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. But that's what you expect parents to do, really, these days. So, you know what? I understand you saying about how you're brought up to believe that, education should be free. It should be, but it hasn't been for a very, very long time.
Yes.
That's
So
right.
just, get out, travel.
Okay, well, that begs
while
the
there's
next
stuff to
question.
go and
Should
see
it be
still.
free?
Oh, it should be, but then someone's got to pay for it, and who's that
We
going
all
to be?
do.
Bill Gates? I mean, he probably could. But, and he might.
Scandinavian countries have it for free, but they've got a very high tax rate to pay for it.
Yeah.
And they're amongst the happiest people in the world too.
Also, reasonably high suicide rates, though. So, isn't there a trade-off?
And they're the happiest people in the world.
You can transfer to Scandinavia in universities really cheaply and still get there
Okay.
free university. Just
Really?
saying, if anyone wants a tip, go travel.
Okay, down the panel. Consideration for free education and higher taxes, yes, no? Or you like the system as it is?
Not the system as it is. I think they should pay something, but I think it should be it should be affordable for everybody.
Are you happy to pay higher taxes for it?
Yes, definitely.
Lucy, you happy to pay higher taxes for it? For free
I would
access
like
to
to
education?
say, if you haven't learned anything by year 10, just shoot yourself.
And because
Well,
because
do I have to always follow those answers?
they make you look good.
Anything you say is going to sound very considered at
I've
this
lost my train of thought now.
Would you be happy to pay a higher tax rate and have cheaper education or more accessible education?
I think it should be accessible, yes.
Accessible, more accessible. Daz, final
Yeah,
word?
no, I would, absolutely. More for more.
All
Yeah.
right. Do you like this letter to give away the pair of limited edition sunnies, courtesy of Alon Treves and Aussie Opticals, or do you like another one?
No, this poor guy is going to be footing some bills for a while
For a long
yet,
time.
so give him something for
There you
God's
go.
sake.
Letter 3. Rebecca, do you like Mark of Bedford of WA, or do you like another letter?
Oh,
Oh,
Now,
consideration. Manny, you're on notice as well. Looking.
Mark of Bedford.
yeah,
Mark,
okay.
you like Mark of Bedford
I
as
also
We've
well?
all turned.
Ladies, casting votes here.
I think we should send Mark of Bedford some chocolates as well.
The budget's just gone up on
Maybe.
this. Goodness
Maybe
me.
Livia's got some chockies at home that her kids didn't eat. She could send them to Mark and then...
Yeah. No, she's still...
Let's do like an address swap.
Yeah, this is
single.
all of a sudden this has turned into Tinder. What's going on here?
Do you know there's a lot of people out there who don't know what Tinder is?
I know. It's
they
what
don't
you
know
use
what-
hang on.
to start a fire.
Daz, explain.
Sorry.
Explain it. So what do you do with Grindr?
What's Grindr?
That's... Well...
This is social media we're talking about now.
what happens when you put a car in for a service and it's...
Tinder is a link up. Grindr is also a link up based on
Oh,
what?
but Grindr is not...
Grindr is the
Ironically-
precursor of Tinder.
Ironically, Grindr
prequel.
is a less lubricated... No. Somewhere in there...
Thank you for that.
Sorry.
Does this involve chocolate?
We're all,
Yes.
okay.
Go
Hang on.
now.
The winner is.
It's chocolate but no
Manny,
flowers.
you like
That's
Mark
the
of
difference.
Bedford?
I like Mark of Bedford.
Lucy like Mark of Bedford. Daz gave us
just
Mark of
gonna go with the
Bedford.
crowd
He's for Mark
because
of
that's
Bedford.
what we
And
do.
Rebecca says Mark of Bedford. Coming out to Bedford of WA. We save postage once again. Thank you. We're in WA. A pair of limited edition sunnies, that is, courtesy of Alon Trees and Aussie Opticals. We've got to go. Thank you, Daz.
Thank you, Gary.
Great to
Always
have you.
fun.
Rebecca, thank you for coming on. We'll have you back.
Please don't take any of it seriously.
Please. Lucy, coming to a stand-up comedy theatre very soon, or is that the end of your career tonight?
She's got to pay a
Glad you
hex
gave me a
fee.
chair to sit down on. And hopefully it's got a backrest so I can't fall backwards, so I'm all good. Thanks, guys.
Okay, we're pleased. Manny,
Gary, been a
I'll
pleasure.
see you over Easter.
Okay.
I'll bring my red egg, you bring your red egg.
red
Next
egg
time
and
we're okay.
What does that
we'll
even mean?
Red eggs at Easter. Greeks. They
Green.
crack red
Chinese?
eggs.
Oh, okay.
We're close to Easter. We're weeks away.
Lamb soup.
We got to go. Wave everybody. Goodbye. Thanks for having us, Australia. Good night. Thanks, crew.
Bye.
Bye-bye.